One of the things that we've been pushing now, I have always said if you've got files that you need to email, you're really better off putting them into some shared drive or whatever, especially if they're big files, and then show a link to that file so that the people can go to the link and download it. It doesn't bog down their email, doesn't bog down your email. But there are times when you want to make sure that those files are attached. And up until right now, we really didn't have the attachment part configured. We kind of implemented it so that we could do it. We just didn't ever actually add them on there. And there were some reasons, but we now have, whenever you go into your templates, I shouldn't say now we have, you guys will have here very soon. There is an area here called documents in your templates. We're adding this documents area so you can put in some common documents that you email out. It's kind of a document library, okay? And maybe you've got an expired listing packet. Maybe you've got a first-time home buyer packet. Things that you email out occasionally, you just, will attach it and send it out. What you can do now is you can click on the little paper with the little plus on it. You can go in, you can select a file, and then it will come in and it will add it to the list. During that adding process, it will also give you the ability to tag that file. So whenever you go in and it'll come up to this screen right here, and you can tag it with some sort of tag. The advantage of having a tag on there is that whenever you create a template, you may want to say, well, I want to send multiple files, and maybe I want to send my expired listing packet files. And maybe you've got 5 or 6 different things that you send on that. You can select a tag, and it would include any of the documents that are tagged that whenever that email gets sent out. So the advantage there is that whenever you add new documents, if you tag it for that, then the next time it goes out, it'll just send it because it's tagged that. You don't have to go back and edit all your documents that is supposed to include that. So it's going to save you time whenever you're dealing with that. Now, what that looks like is whenever, and I'm going to pull up one here, expired listing packet. Now, this was just a sample that I'm using for testing and stuff here. But what this looks like is you could have some kind of, actually, let me do this just to make this a little more readable for real estate clients. There we go. Okay. Dear first name, hope you blah, 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 blah. So here's all the things about that maybe we want to include. Now, in the past, we would say, well, use an external document and a link to that external document. And, you could just highlight it and click on the external link and put that in there. And that's still very valid. There's a probably the best way of doing it is that, first off. But some people prefer to send attachments. And if that's the case, what I'm adding is this icon down here at the bottom where you can include additional files with your templates. So whenever you use this template, it would automatically include any of those library of documents in there. So I can click on the attachment, And then I can come up here and I can say, well, I want to add a tag for expired listings. So by doing this now, by using a tag, it's going to say, okay, before this email goes out, I'm going to go to my documents list, find any documents that are tagged with expired listing packet. I may add some, I may delete some at different times, keeping that kind of a live list, a smart list of documents that I want to typically send out. And by using the tag then before this email goes out, it will grab any of those attachments and put them into the email and send them out. Now that can be dangerous, but it can also be very powerful and very, you want to make sure that you know what's in your tags of documents. By doing this though, it makes it really easy to include those documents before I use them. So I'm going to click on save here. Now, not only do we have the library of documents, you do know that in our contact records, we also have a files tab. Files tab are files that are specific to that individual, okay? So in those attachments area, we were just on the document side. We also have the files side, and I may rename this before tomorrow. But the files side says, oh, in addition to whatever I've chosen as far as my main documents, if there are certain files that are tagged in my files for that contact, I want to include those as well. So in this case, expired packet might be one of the tags that I use there. So it can go in and look for different things. Now, this probably doesn't make as much, it makes more sense for the document side. But what you could do, just think about this. Every time a contact closes on a listing, maybe you upload their closing documents into the system, and you tag those as closing documents, or maybe you tag a certain file for the HUD-1 if you guys send those out. At the beginning of the year of any of those people that bought that previous year, it would be good for them for tax purposes to have that HUD-1. Well, what you can do is come here and say, I want to add a tag of HUD-1, and then in each of their files tab, if they've got a document called HUD-1, whenever it goes out, it'll just grab it and send it out. So you could do a mass email to all of your contacts and say, include the HUD-1, and it will grab the one that's tagged HUD-1 and send it out. It'll save you hours. Yeah,
it's going to grab the one on the file, not
in the files tab.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got documents that are kind of your document library of generic type documents that you might send out, but you've also got a section for files that looks into the individual contact files or property files, listing files, transaction files, and it can pull out the ones that, if I'm sending this to a particular person for a particular property or transaction, it can look into those files for that and attach them. That's the purpose of this.